Introducing aPriori.
Very exciting. Could you just tell us who you are and what do you do in your work?
I'm Jegan Dhanapal, working as a cost manager for our next-gen combine for CNH Industrial.
So what did you find with aPriori when you started to implement the cost solution? Was there anything surprising that you found?
I think it's more of a user-friendly because we are able to leverage the 3D model and then directly import it into the aPriori, and then it provides all kind of information. So in terms of design engineer can see the different split where the cost breakdowns are happening, and also for a cost engineer, we are also able to provide the split. These are all what drivers are contributing to the cost.
Tell me about adoption within your organization. Was it challenging to get everyone on the team on the same page with the tool?
No, I think I wouldn't say that because we currently are at 890 license. And 1,500 license, I think 890 users.
So you have good adoption is what you're saying.
Yes. We started with a little group like the harvesting, and my leader was so much into the aPriori and he was so pro to the aPriori. And we are using it at the engineer levels, and they are using for the design to see is it designed for manufacturable, the cost, everything is taken care at the upfront of the design.
How has it changed your relationship with your suppliers?
We were able to reduce hours. They were coding like 9 hours or something, and we were saying the aPriori shows 2 hours, and we provided, I think the aPriori team as Patrick, I believe, yes, provided some sort of other secondary evidence to show that this is how it should be, and they were able to reduce hours, but it is still a gap. I think we need to work on it.
It was a place where you could start a conversation. So
yes.
It wasn't a conversation shutdown moment. Yes. This is what we think your cost ought to be. But it allowed you to say, hey, this looks like an outlier. Let's have a conversation about what your processes are.
Exactly. So at least in the past, it was more of it could be, but now we have a data point to say these are all the cost drivers. So because of which we are saying 8 hours. It's not 5 hours. It's not 8 hours. So that's a good thing about aPriori, I would say.
Tell me about what you're learning at the conference these past few days. What's been most exciting to you?
I think it is a good insights. I see most of them are having the same pain. And it's good to see how they are addressing the problem so that we can do the benchmarking and then see how we can improve as a company.
And when you say other manufacturers are having the same pain, what is that pain that you're talking about?
Design engineers are not using the cost.
What? Why not?
Their priorities are different, right? Because I'm not blaming engineers, it's there because they are putting the pressure, so they have to come up with a concept which has the performance, quality, cost, weight, and
they have to do it quickly because they have so many things on their plate. They have to bang out so many designs. So the key for you, I suppose, is making it as seamless as possible. Making it as painless as possible for the design engineers.
And also that process, once we have the design, optimized design, and it should get to the to the purchasing department in a more seamlessly way. And the next step is once we have the quote from the supplier, that has to pass through the cost team so that we know if everything is fine in line to the number, we are good. If there is a deviation, then we have to reconcile the difference. So I think the workflow, I believe it will help us. Because everything related to that particular part, we can go back and look at the history and see what was the feedback, what was the design feedback, what was the manufacturing feedback, what was the purchasing feedback, and how was it coded into 2020 or 2018. I think it would be a good tool.
If all that info is right there in AP Workspace, then you don't have to run around trying to track down the email or the information with someone who's left the company. It was maybe in their head and now they've left. So that sounds like it is going to solve some problems, but I'm glad to know that it's not only you. It's everyone feeling the same pain point at the same time. So when you go home, what is it that you're going to take back to your home company and try to change immediately?
I think this one, the workflow process, I think I need to talk to my management, and the other one is the Zero RFQ.
If there's anyone listening who hasn't heard about the concept of Zero RFQ, what is it?
I think it's more of partnering with the supplier. Now we are more of picking the supplier who provides the lowest cost. Instead, have the supplier, identify the right supplier, strategic supplier, and build their physical factory into your virtual model and then simulate accordingly and then get the confidence of the supplier and go from there.
So if you have a complete model, machine to machine of their factory within your digital factory, then you can literally have zero requests for quote. The quote is just there. You just put it into your model, boom, it's there.
It won't be like 4 weeks. It will be a week, less than a week. That's what I would say.
Which saves a huge amount of time, but also a huge amount of money when you're dealing with quick decisions. So you can tack, from one supply chain shortage to another.
Yeah, and the other thing is we are using the right cost, right from the tool, and because that's the cost we're gonna write as a PO. That's the cost for our company, and that's their price. So we know. So we always meet the program cost. So there will not be, the predictability of the cost will be certain always.
Which saves you a lot of headache if there's no question mark. If there's no negotiations about what the cost is, you just know what the cost is and you can go from there.
Yeah.
Well, that is extremely exciting. Thank you so much for talking to me, and have a great time with the rest of the conference.
Yeah, thank you.
aPriori, making profitability and sustainability a reality for a better world.